What's up, people? I'm drawing. I was on Picrew, bored, and I thought I'd make me an oracle because I don't know, I just felt like it. And it was a little difficult too because I don't know why I expected Picrew to have those weird purple tendrily things that I call hair on the back of Oracle's head. So I kind of just had to make do with like whatever ponytail things or whatever those things I put on him are. But thought they were cute, so I decided I wanted to draw this. But you'll see throughout the video, but I really hated drawing myself because I'm not very used to it. I don't draw myself very often. I struggle with it a lot, but I like the way Oracle turned out at the very least. Uh, and I know that, like, I didn't finish it in this video because I did some stuff off screen, but I'll show the final thing after it's all done. It feels really weird talking to a camera. I used to stream on Twitch a while ago, and I would just like talk to nobody about the game or about my life. And I knew no one ever watched, but I just did it because it was fun. But I never expected anyone to ever join the stream. So one day I got like, I think I got like a message in chat or something, and it threw me off. And because no one ever watched the stream, I didn't know that my setup was so like god awful. But I'd get like maybe one frame every 3 minutes, and I didn't realize because I never watched my own stream because I figured that would just make the things worse because my internet was bad and my laptop was abysmal. But those guys played like tech support for me for like 10 minutes while I figured stuff out, and then they just left. But shoutouts to those guys, real homies, real nice people. Also, I ended up redoing this map like 1,000 times, and eventually I just did this because I hated it. But they had a really cute open map thing on the original Picrew thing that I made. It looks better like this, so it's fine. I also don't know if I draw enough to legally say that I have an art style, but if I do, this is definitely a little bit outside of it, but I really like cutesy stuff, so it's fine. Also, I pause a lot, well, the video's sped up to 700%, so you might not really see it, but there's a few times where like the thing just stops moving. The very first time something technical was happening, I don't know why it was like this, but I had Genshin open, and it stopped me from being able to use like select correctly. And it took me like maybe 10 minutes to figure out why that was. The second time was for a Hot Pocket, and then all the times after that I went to go play with my sister, and I forgot that I was one, drawing, and two, when I did remember that I was drawing, I decided that I was having more fun with her than this, so I kept going back. I don't know. Also, when I made Oracle, I had no idea what I was doing. I kind of just got really lucky. I like the way he turned out, but he started a lot different. He was originally like a horror thing, and then I like accidentally made part of him cute, and then I made the rest of him cute, and now he's just my son that I try clothes on sometimes, or like earrings and all that stuff because of his big old floppy elf ears. But he's my child, and I absolutely love him. I also don't draw him very consistently at all. Some days I make him, like, I have an idea of what he's supposed to look like, but some days I make him look like he's 5 on accident, and this is kind of one of those times, but only because I was trying to go for something cutesy and small. Oh yeah, that ear thing was when the selector thing was happening. I still don't know why that was. Maybe I had like a hotkey in Genshin or something, and it was pushing that instead of doing the thing. I have no idea. I also didn't really want to like record audio over this. I didn't even really want to post this at all because I like drawing, but I also hate it sometimes. It just feels really personal. I don't know. Like, I make a lot of mistakes and they feel bad, and especially doing a speed paint like this, you can see them. I obviously sped it up the hell out of this, so you couldn't see all of them. But like the way I start off drawings with that little like wide marker thing, and then I like refine it as I go on. It feels weird showing that part. And I know when I first started digital art, I hated doing line work because I used my mouse. I didn't know what the stabilizer tool was, and I would often just like draw the rough outline, and then I'd do one line art with a mouse and stabilizer, and then I wouldn't be happy with it, and instead of just fixing it, I would redo the entire thing, and I'd spend days on end just doing that, and it was terrible. I also used to use like 1,000 layers for everything, and my friend yelled at me for it, so I stopped doing it. Now I just, like, what's the word? Like, push them all down. Like, I'll do something, and if I'm worried about it ruining a layer, I'll make, like, a temporary layer, and once everything's, like, finished, or quote-unquote safe, I'll, like, I'll merge it down. That's the word, merge. I'll merge it down and then delete the spare layer. And I have, like, I do, like, 20, 30 layers per thing now. I still use a lot of folders. But it's a lot better than, like, the hundreds I used to use, because, yeah, it was pretty bad. I really ought to draw more of Oracle. He's, like, the only thing I have consistently, but I still don't draw him nearly enough. I also almost forgot the flower crown. Like, I finished his line work, and then I went on to mine, and I completely forgot about it. I do end up doing it. It's at the end, but, yeah. Another reason I didn't want to record audio was, one, I had no idea what to say, and I didn't know if I could talk for this long, or if I should just, like, talk, say something, and then just, like, let it fade back into the music. And I also I don't really like my voice either, and I'd have to listen to it while I was editing, so that's another drawback. And there's nothing, like, even if I had, like, the world's most attractive voice, it could never be better than listening to Kingdom Hearts Traverse Town, because that song fucking slaps. Yeah, I think I went to go play with my sister. I thought that speeding it up would get rid of it, but it's still a pretty noticeable pause. I think I already passed the part, but I think it was on his arm, maybe, or maybe it was part of his hair. I don't really remember, but I know I spent like 5 minutes just like redoing the same 8 pixels because I counted them. It was a really small, stupid thing, but I like hyper obsessed over it, and then I just erased it and redid it like I did with the mouth. And you can also see me flipping a lot because I kind of forgot to do that last time with the last thing I drew. Mostly because I started it before I left for basic training, and then when I came back I was like really rusty. I kind of had a little bit of practice for traditional stuff because I was doing commissions in HOA, but it's not really the same, and I had to wait like 3 weeks I think for the new tablet to show up because my tablet hadn't worked for like a year. I wanted to get back into digital because it just, like, if I was out of practice, I might as well practice the thing that's, I'd say, overall better to learn. It feels controversial, but it just, having a Control Z is so nice. And just, like, having all the colors available to you and them not being permanent like markers are. I don't know. There's also something nice about traditional. It's just not really my thing anymore. I can still do it, but I definitely prefer digital. I also forgot that I could select tool this, but I remember in a moment. It just takes me a second. Well, I'm not to the point yet, but I think one of the reasons I really didn't like my thing was because I tried to put it in the same, or I tried to use like the same pinkish red, whatever this color is, for my line art because, you know, I did it for Oracle. But it just didn't turn out well because I have a lot of like darker colors because I'm a real person, and like it wasn't very easy to see. In the final version I made it just black, and I have a different version where Oracle's line art is also black. But yeah. I also, whenever I do work on me, or whenever I'm working on Oracle or whatever, I'll like mute my layers, that way it can't be seen in the thing because I'm just so embarrassed by it, and I try to like rush through it so it goes by faster in the thing. But I worried about this a little bit too much. Remember I tweaked the head for a little bit because I was worried that it was like too small compared to Oracle's, and it's supposed to be like all, you know, anime and cutesy and all that. And I also had no idea what to do with my hair for a super long time because the closest thing I knew towards my hair was like pompadours, and pompadours are kind of like fades. It's like they're like the pre-evolution, even though they came after. It's like Pichu. Like, Pichu comes before Pikachu, but Pichu wasn't introduced until Gen 2, and Pikachu's just always been a thing since Gen 1. It's kind of like that, I guess. I'm also flipping a lot, because I think I already talked about why. Oh yeah, I never finished the Suzuha thing. I have kind of a speed paint of it. It's mostly just me, like, finishing up, like, the last bit of line art, doing the line art for the background, and then coloring it. And I recorded it just in case I want to do something with it, but I probably won't. I don't know. We'll see. Also, one of the other big problems I had with doing my hair is that I just somehow forgot that I have a Mega 5 head, and I like let it cover my entire like head, other like up to my eyebrows. And I don't know why I did that. I don't know how I forgot that I have such a massive forehead, but it happens, I guess. Mostly just moving it up makes it look a lot better. Honestly, thinking about it, I dress a little weird. I like switch between absolute matehead, depressed librarian, and final boss of Kingdom Hearts 2 a lot. I just like stuff that's comfy, and I'm also a fan of statement fashion, but I can't really wear a ton of it because of say the family that I'm in. But whenever I can, it's fun. And this is definitely more on the like depressed librarian side of things. And I started with this pattern for a while, even though it's really simple, the little like braided part, because I just couldn't wrap my head around it. I will say though, I'm a lot more motivated to draw than I usually am, because I I use well, I don't know. Up until recently, I didn't really get that much like fun out of drawing, because I do like art. I really love seeing like other people's stuff, and I sometimes like creating my own stuff. But it just, I don't know. It feels really personal, which makes sense because it's art. But I usually don't let things get to me like that, and I don't even really like showing other people my stuff. And whenever I do draw, because I am always rusty because I never really do it, I always see it as, well, if one piece is good, that means the next piece is probably not going to be good, and then I'll feel all insecure, beat myself up over it, and then I just won't feel like drawing for like another month. And it's just how it goes, unfortunately. But I do feel a lot more inclined to do it now. I've got this big like notepad list of stuff that I want to do, some things I want to redraw, all that kind of stuff. As long as I'm not drawing myself anymore, I think I'll be fine. I have Oracle's brother, like his character sheet. I have it done on paper, traditionally I mean, but I haven't digitalized it yet. And I do want to do that because I like his design. Now that I kind of know what I'm doing a little bit more than I did with Oracle, his stuff actually like makes sense and means something. And Oracle's, I got really lucky because it was just a bunch of random bullshit, and then I got it to mean something. Like I figured out why he's got the hair thing. Well, I haven't figured out why he's got the hair things, but I figured out that they are hair because I didn't know what the hell those things were to start. But I braided them kind of on the left one in this. They are hair. They're just really weird. And I know why he has the eye thing. I figured out good lore reasons for that. And those were reflecting his brother a little bit. I stayed bald for a long time. Again, because I was like thinking out stuff and playing it out in like I think I was playing it on paper when I drew this. I think so, because I was just really afraid of like letting it be visible on the camera forever because I like hated it. And looking back, even though it's a lot different than the finished project, or the finished product, excuse me. Uh, it's not that bad. I just didn't like it, and I was worried that it would show up for like a long period of time in the recording, even if I sped it up like a shit ton, like I have. Because even for small things like this, I draw extremely slow. I'm like a grandma at a crosswalk. I've gotten a little bit better though, but this, like even at 500%, I think the footage was like what, like 30 minutes, half an hour ish, and now it's at 700, and I'm staring at the editor while I'm recording this, so I know what to talk about. But I can't really see because I have it really small on my side. Yeah, and here I'm like trying to make it curlier or see what would make it better. It's just the shape that's off a little bit. And I thought adding these would help, and they helped in the final thing, but they didn't help for what I was going for. All these little. I think I maybe either already took the break or I'm taking it shortly. I just like stared in the mirror and like try to figure out how my hair exists, and that's when I realized that it needs to go up because I have a million miles of forehead in between me and my hair. Yeah, I guess I already took the break, so I figured it out. I had a mega mind, dude. Look at me. Yeah, fix the face a little bit. Jimmy Neutron looking ass. Yeah, that's a lot better. And I was doing like size comparisons because the faces are about the same shape, even though mine's a little bit smaller right now. Though that's about to change. Oracle has a lot more headroom because his hair covers a lot of his head. And honestly, I don't know if I like that I changed it because it makes sense because I want them to both like look consistent. But seeing it edited like this, I don't know if making it bigger was really the best idea. I guess it's fine. It's not that big a deal, and no one would even really notice if I didn't talk about it or have a video showing it. Yeah, I'm probably gonna. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say I'm probably gonna mute my layers soon, so I can focus on Oracle and not have to look at myself. I did this part a few times because I wanted to be really clean, but I just had to like go through and erase some of the borders because it left behind a little bit of a mess. See right there? Honestly, I was kind of nervous recording this, but this is calming. It's probably just the music helping me out, because I get to listen to Traverse Town. But this is so nice. At first I was gonna shade more of it, but especially the hair, because I have this certain way that I like to shade Oracle's hair now, and it makes it look real nice. But I don't know, sometimes less is more. I want it to be real simple looking. But I did shade the skin, because I really like the way I did the skin shading. I think it's just the red outlines that make it look really, I don't know, just, I want to say sunsetty, but that doesn't feel like the right word. It just looks good. I like the way it turned out. I'm trying to figure out what hair color I want it to be, or like what shade of blue or whatever, because usually I go with a lot brighter, but I think I might change that and go with this shade from now on because I saved it to my, what's it called? My sketchpad? I don't know what those things are called. The thing, oh, the color palette, whatever, yeah, that thing. I also didn't give him any earrings this time around, which might have been a missed opportunity, but there's always next time. Oracle's the thing I draw the most. I also really like the way that his eye turned out, because part of it was an accident. Like, I meant to do the green and the shading and all that stuff with the star pupil, but I was messing around with layers, like for this deeper green part, because I couldn't really get it where I wanted to, and I thought maybe like a more bluish thing would help out. So I was messing around with them, and I think maybe it was invert. I think that it makes sense. I turned it purple, and I like messed with the opacity a little bit, I even thought about using that like that lighter bit right there. Yeah, there it is. And I just tweaked it a little bit, and then add the little highlights in it. And I made it look cute. Just a nice happy lad. Yeah, and this is definitely my favorite part. It's just so satisfying to shade everything. Originally, because I lost all my project files that I usually use for video editing and all my usual soundtracks and stuff, including this song. And I wasn't sure if I used this song or a different song called Crossroads. And I thought Crossroads was from Kingdom Hearts, and it's not, it's from Persona. But I was looking for it, and it just, like, imagine like the low battle theme, or the low health theme from Pokemon Black and White. It's like that, it's just really stressful, but it's a banger. And I thought about putting it in when I started working on myself. It was a little meme, but the vibe I get from this song, the peace and tranquility, is irreplaceable. I could not sacrifice the vibe for the funny. I just didn't have it in me. I definitely could have shaded the hair lightly and had it still keep like the simple looking vibe. But it's fine like this. I don't really regret anything. I don't have this like outfit in real life. I have some really close to it though, but god, that looks so comfortable. Oh, just big and warm. I'd go out and put mine on if it wasn't summertime here, and I'd be miserable. Yeah, there's too many dark colors on me for the pink to really work. Especially when I got to the eye, because I started brown and then I went yellow because that's what I had on the picture thing. But I just had a really hard time showing up. I tried tweaking with it and doing all this stuff, but it just didn't work out. And that's okay, I guess. Yeah, I don't know if it's because it's supposed to be me, or because I like drew something wrong, but staring at this thing makes me feel really weird. Staring at it without any lines is actually kind of cool, but staring at it with lines makes me feel really awkward. And because I have my obvious bias, I can't tell if I actually did something wrong or if I'm just self-conscious. But shading was still fun here. It wasn't as fun as Oracle's, because I got to do more of it. Honestly, I was worried that this whole thing wouldn't look very, like, cohesive as a video, because I'm really sporadic whenever I draw. I, like, zoom in and out a lot, which you can still see, and sometimes it's a little flashy, a little seizure-y, but it's overall fine. I think I was worried a little bit too much. Yeah, see, even there, I tried to lower the opacity of the line just so you could see the eyelashes and thing more, but this didn't work out, because when I lowered it, I also lowered the eyeball, and it made it harder to see because it was already kind of a warm color on another warm color. A warm color with lower opacity as well. And I later on I raised the opacity back up of that part specifically, but it didn't help all that much. Oh, here's the flower crown that I almost forgot. Because I was looking at the reference image and I just completely forgot about it up until now. And I like almost considered not doing it, but I don't know, I thought it'd be cute. And I'm glad I did, because it was cute. I've also been looking into flower language a lot lately, because I think it's interesting. I don't know a ton of it yet, but I don't know, it's cool. I like it. I have no idea how people derive some of the meanings. Some of them I get, but some of them I don't. That in and of itself is pretty cool to learn about. Also, seeing these flowers reminds me that I haven't played Animal Crossing in like a few months, and I'm a little sad. I miss my villagers. But I also don't miss them enough to want to get back on right now. One day, though. I'll get back on eventually. I still have to finish my Goth Island. I wonder how my villager's doing, actually. I got really lucky, because I have two switches. One's a light and then one's a full one. Because I had to get the light during my training time, because I obviously couldn't use the one from home, because I was away from it. But I got really lucky, and I was trying to avoid getting cool villagers until I got the campsite, because if you get good villagers, you usually have to get them kicked out unless you don't care about their houses, because they'll have... Oh yeah, here's me doing the eye, but they won't have as good of houses as they would normally if they moved in later. But the first one that's keepable, that I'd say, is the one from the campsite, because that's like the first one that has like their permanent house. And I got Raymond for my first campsite villager, and I was a little scared because I wasn't sure if it was going to be like the house after the campsite or the campsite itself. Because even if I got like the boring house for Raymond, I would have kept it because he's fucking Raymond. And I also got Marshall. I'm trying to remember who else I have on my island right now. Man, I don't remember. It's been a long time. Here, I think I have it on my phone somewhere. Let me just pull that up. Oh, never mind. Video's done. Oh, here's the finished product. Yeah. Thanks for watching, I guess. Bye.